Better let Rocco in. Come on then, if you want to come in, you come in. Come on. Well, we haven't got anybody on here Sunday morning. I don't expect people to come on a live stream. Got a little Rocco over here now. Here he is. Come on then. There he goes. Look, it's a difficult time at the moment for everybody across the country, and nobody's seen this coming. Maybe they did with the government. I don't know. They've been expecting pandemics. They've had them before, but they're not ready for it. They haven't been ready for it, and we're in a bit of a mess because of it at the moment. But the most important thing is that you just need to be safe. You need to play it safe, and don't take and don't take any unnecessary risks because it's just not worth it. I just think that we've got to find a way to sort of maintain some normality. And for me this morning, and it may be an ideal thing for you guys to do, or girls, is to try and get those jobs done that you've been needing to get done for some time. And I've actually just put some silicone around the toilet where the sewer pipe and just needed a little bit on there. It's been 3 years since that was needed, so I've done that now, and I'm outside. I've got a loose slab that I've put back down in place. I need to point that area, but unfortunately I won't be able to point that today because I'm getting on with the roof. Yeah, my roof to my log store. The log store hasn't had a roof on since I've done it probably nearly 18 months ago now. So I'm going to be putting some sterling board along the top, then fountain batten it, and just think the sterling board will just sort of strengthen up a little bit, but it will also allow me, once I put the fountain on, to get the logs underneath there so they can start drying out. I've got it underneath my awning at the moment, and it's not ideal having the awning up all the time. Difficult times for everyone, and so important that you think about how you can reduce the problems. And I'll be honest with you, I have my van. I've always had my vehicles. I've never used my own money, but I've always had my vehicles on some sort of finance. So I'm going to be deferring the finance on my van tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's the thing that some of you people out there need to get in your head. There's nothing wrong with deferring payments. I've deferred payments on my mortgage, like thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people across the country. Defer those payments. Anything that you've got to go out, your phone bill, defer that payment. They can't say no. And if you say you need to defer as a result of the COVID-19 virus, they'll just have to accept it. So I'm not sure. There's nothing that they cannot say no to. Yeah, nothing at all. Even your VAT and your tax, all those, the government has announced it. So it's the same with your finance. If you've got anything on finance, you need to defer it, okay? Because you need your money, and you need your money for your food. You need to buy food. I'm not quite sure how this is all going to pan out. There's been so many conflicting stories, as always, on the internet, but certainly when it comes to when is this going to end, I mean, we're getting all sorts of information coming back. I know that China's had a second wave of infection, not so many, but they have tightened up on things. Don't think necessarily China is telling all the truth. They're not going to do it. They never have. So just think about, what you're doing. If anybody got any questions on you, and I'll be more than happy to take your questions. Difficult times, but we will be okay, mate. I hope so, bud, and I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you put a few things in place and you've covered yourself. It looks like we're going to be having to get out, and we're going to have to stand in queues, and we're going to have to wait for food, aren't we? That's what it's looking like. That's what we're going to have to do. Alistair Smith says you've got to make up the difference by the VAT difference by the 31st of January. Believe we are screwed. It's unreal. Are you a limited company? Yeah, I am limited. I've got 2 limited companies. Do you know, I don't think when it comes to that, let me just put Rocco down in a minute. When it comes to the VAT, I think if it's going to go on, they'll just defer it again. They're telling you that you have to defer it by that time. Hutton's Gardens, the money is better in your bank in times like this, uh, we will all come through it. Yeah, absolutely, and I think we definitely will come through it. It's, you know, I just the government have to help, and they're showing that they're helping. And just because they've given dates now, it doesn't mean to say those dates aren't going to change. We're going to have a little drink of this now because I might not believe it. Just need a hot drink. It's amazing how cold it's got at the moment out there. It's absolutely freezing. The other day when it was sunny, I had my shirt off. I was working, and I got on with it. But don't be too frightened about the dates, what they've actually said about making payments by it, because I think they'll get changed, and they'll be not necessarily forced to. Well, they'll have to. They'll have to change them simply because we aren't back to normality. Normality is it's going to be way off, and until they start testing and finding out, and they come up with some sort of medical answer to this virus, I don't think they can start telling us things. And I'm sure, well, I know all around the world things that are changing. Uh, so you're in my boat, then you will be getting 80 of your wage, which is in case 9,000. It makes most of my dividends, looming to live about £100 a week. So really want to get back at it. Yeah, absolutely, Alistair. I get that, mate. It's difficult, isn't it? This figure that they're coming up with. Did you see all the people? 80%. Yeah. Did you see all the people that are actually applying for universal credits? To be honest, I'm not quite sure how all that sort of stuff works, and I've got a couple of quid put to one side. Not a lot, not a lot. It's years ago I always had cash, but in recent years I haven't. I don't know why. I've always had money in the bank, but I haven't recently in recent years. I've got enough for a couple of months, but like a lot of people, where are we? Where are we with our finances, and will our finances get us through? And if they don't get us through, the government will be doing something about it. And we've all got different opinions about how this is going to go. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to go and how it's all going to pan out. I'm not sure. None of us know. But the only thing that we can hope for is to have some hope and hope that they come up with a medical solution to this. I think that's the answer. I know all around the world they're working hard to get something in place so they can get on with it. I don't know if any of you guys have actually seen and girls have actually seen the documentary on Netflix called Pandemic. Okay, um, watch it, and not scaremongering, but you need to see it because you'll get a better insight to where we are. Do you think the banks will crash? Well, to be honest, that is a good question. Do I think that the banks will crash? Well, I think possibly, anyone can crash. Anything, any organization or institution can actually crash. Anything that's going out there can actually crash. But all they'll do is they'll just print money again like they did before and wipe their debts off. They never wiped our debts off, being a white van man, a sole trader, or one of those contractors that are out there that's doing the daily grind and working hard at it. They never, back in the recession, they never actually did really anything for us, did they? They helped the banks out, and the bank's supposed to have helped us out, but all they done was to charge those interest rates. And I know that people are still paying for those interest rates now to today, since that recession. They're still paying for the last recession, and some are probably still paying for the recession before. Um, there's a reason to be limited. Okay, there's lots of reason. Being a limited company can actually protect you. Okay, it can actually protect you. And there's a lot of companies that are going to go to the wall. They never help us. Are still paying for the last year. I get it, bud. I really do get it. Yeah, absolutely. We're still paying for the last one. Debt is there from the Second World War. People, the British government, the British people are still paying debt from the Second War. I'm not going to get on all to that politics stuff, but we are still paying for the Second World War now. It's not over. This debt just gets passed on through generations. It's still there. I haven't got the answers to any of this, but this platform is here for everyone. It's here for everybody to sort of to promote good dialogue and to see if we can work out some answers, because I haven't got the answers, and all I've done is create the platform. hopefully that other people can share their information, and those people that are watching this platform can actually learn from it. And an honest opinion, okay, an honest opinion of you guys up and down the country that are doing what you're doing. Yeah, this is how we learn. This is how we find out things. I don't know where you're based, Alistair Smith, but you know, I'd like to hear a lot more of you and Charlie there, Hutton's Gardens. I want to keep doing these live streams now to try and get the information out there, just so people can start learning and helping each other out. If you feel that there's anything that you can promote on this platform to help any other guys or girls that are watching this, just share it, share the link. The government are on about giving more protection to limited companies. Now, you were personally liable recently, so I'm wondering whether to become a sole trader after this. I'm in Suffolk, mate. Alistair, that's a good one. Whether you're thinking about becoming a sole trader, I don't know. I think the thing is about limited. It does offer you some protection. So if you did have to put the company through because somebody hasn't paid you, okay, not necessarily your fault. You have a lot of companies that actually start limited companies and they just keep putting company through. It's like asset stripping, and that's what they do. But there are those times when you get in a position as a limited company, and what it does, it protects the person from actually being stripped out from someone else, okay? And nobody can come after you or any of your personal assets if somebody's bumped you. And that's basically what happens, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that, you know? When we go to work every day and we work hard, and I know that some guys get into problems through litigation, but the government are getting protection to a company. I don't know if I missed the question there. I believe it is used for you protection, and now I think you're personally liable, but I'm not an expert. I think the only time, and don't quote me on this, the only time when some limited companies are liable is when it's through PAYE. PAYE is a little bit different. A lot of companies in the past were putting companies through, and they wasn't paying the PAYE. So I think you can still be personally liable for that. That's how it was years ago. I don't know if that's changed now. Maybe somebody can get some information, go out there and have a look and get a link up on here. Um, but hopefully this platform will help somebody. If you just want to sound off on here, that's absolutely fine. Um, Mental health at the moment must be really being strained across the country with couples and families and neighbours. You know, there's this thing about whether we can go to work as contractors and work in a garden safe, practicing that social distancing. Um, but I don't know if it looks good. You know, a project that we've got on at the moment, it's right next to the house where they have kids, and the kids are already just through the fence. And I seen one of them looking through the fence the other day. So whether that's a good idea to actually go to work and carry on, I don't know. I'm not sure, and I probably think it's not. I have to think of my wife as well because got to make sure she doesn't get anything because she could be quite vulnerable to anything. So maybe it isn't a good time to actually go to work for any of us, you know. And I think at some point, possibly that you know, you see across the country and you hear the stories about the police checks at the moment, and it's happening. It's happening now, you know, and just wonder when you go out there if you are going to be stopped and you are going to be asked about where you're going. And I think we have to think about how we portray ourselves as a company and whether it's professional to actually go to work and carry on. We can work as a builder, but what I and a lot of people have found, you just can't get materials. I'm assuming you have found the same. Yeah, absolutely, Alistair. I use Juicing for me and a number of other independents as well, and I use a lot of their branches. And you could see it over a couple of days. You could sense the activity and the vibe in the builders merchants, and you could feel it coming. And then they went on to 24-hour shutdown with Juicings. It was an RA, and then they're shut down only for essential goods only. Police are stopping work vans daily up here in Leeds. Yeah, Sean, I've got a lot of friends up in Yorkshire. and I've been told the same. My friend Ben Dodsworth, that is up in, I think Ben's up near Harrogate, York way, and but he was let through the other day. They let him through, but they were stopping cars. Guys, I think the reality is that we have to think about what we're doing. I just need us to get a drink. That's good stuff. Yeah, the reality is that we have to think about what we're doing. It's happening, and we can't do nothing about it at the moment. We just can't do nothing. We just gonna have to go with the flow, and you have to find out what's best for you, and you know, but make those calculated risks. Don't really take a huge risk on something that if you don't need to do it, you don't need to do it. How much food has any of us got in the house at the moment? I wonder how much food, how many guys and girls and families will be out there today queuing to get food at 10 o'clock. I suggest there's going to be quite a bit. But look, don't panic. There is food on the shelf, and we just got to go with it. We just got to go with this situation at the moment. There's nothing we can do. Look, thank you all for joining on this live stream. If any of you would want to voice your opinion, just subscribe now or share your comments. Try not to swear. If any of you want to join our landscaping forum that we run, it's called Landscaping Survival with Johnyboy. It's not just about me. That's just what it's called, Landscaping Survival, which is an appropriate name at the moment. Join it. It's on Facebook, Landscape Survival. There's guys all over the country. You may know them if you're up in Yorkshire. We've got a load of guys. They're great guys, real fun guys, and the group that we run, it's a good, clean platform. We try to, regulate it and moderate it. Appropriate name, yeah, it is Sean. Landscape and Survival, and yeah, for me, that's where it all started all those years ago. The daily grind. Thanks for your time. It's been a pleasure. You're a top bloke. Now, Alistair, listen, get on the group if you can, mate, because there's some guys on there that are exceptional and know their stuff inside out. So get on there, Landscape and Survival with Johnyboy, and it's on Facebook. We want to build it. We want good guys on there. We want people to help and promote. I know you've all got to get on with it, and I'm doing a little bit of work outside this morning. Not quite sure if I know what I'm doing, and I started out working on roofs as an apprentice carpenter, but it didn't last because I got the sack. Not because I was no good, because I was just a little angry head. But I'm getting on with it. I'm putting some sterling board on the roof now. I'm going to felt it over because I want to actually get my logs underneath. Yes, thanks. It's for this. I'll pop to survival if you don't mind. Yeah, no problem at all. God bless you guys. Take care. I'll go live again tomorrow. I'll try and bring you some content in the meantime. Maybe a bit of a hyperlapse, time lapse, a bit of hip hop music, maybe. I don't know. But take care and listen. Just be safe. Just be safe. See you soon. God bless you.